I don't always do this on Sunday, but it felt like this was important. It felt like this is an important practice for you and something that's important for you to understand. On Saturday, I did a transmission, a spiritual transmission, as you may know. And I asked for feedback of what people experienced. But even in the midst of doing it, I felt where people were at, what people were experiencing. And so it's a group of people, so people were experiencing different things, right? Different levels. And in some of those, I addressed some of those things. If people were struggling or having a hard time, I addressed those things. Don't ask me how I know this. Don't ask me how I'm feeling this. But I'm not only feeling it in this time, since this is live, who's watching me live. I don't only experience it during this time, but I'm also experiencing it in people who are watching this at some future time, which may sound strange. If you know anything about Einstein's theory of time, Einstein believed that time was, that all times throughout all history were happening simultaneously at the same time, that all time was happening at one time. And this is also something that we naturally feel when we're deeply experiencing presence. All time is happening at this time. So if we understand a little bit of Einstein's theory of time, and experience that, it doesn't seem so implausible that I would experience what you're experiencing at some time in the future, that I would experience now what you're experiencing at some time in the future. Right? It's also why we experience past lives, because the experience of a past life is actually the experience of a present time, because we're experiencing it in the present, but it's not the present of this time. It's the presence of another time. And given clothing and all the things around us, from what we know from history, we experience that as being a past time, a past life. Right? That's the only real we know, because we're actually in that time, at that time, even though there's another body. We're in that time, at that time, simultaneously that we're in this time now. I don't want to go into this too much, because this is really about a much more profound teaching than any of that. This is about the teaching of silence. This is about the teaching in silence. Something happens in these transmissions in silence that is very profound, very deep, and extremely beneficial to you. This is really how you wake up. Not through words, not through thoughts, not through the words that I say, not through understanding what I'm saying or resonating with what I'm saying, but something in this deep stillness and silence that is actually always here. And many of you are not aware of this, and I understand that. Many of you have not experienced this yet. So in the feedback that I got from that, people liked it when I was speaking. They liked it. They felt comforted. And some people didn't want to close their eyes. They wanted to see me and engage with me. And yes, I'm a very loving person, very peaceful and loving. And it's nice to be in my presence. I understand that. But I'm trying to introduce you to something that's more than this. And some people are able to really open to this silence. And for them, when I speak in the silence, it's a distraction from them. They would rather just have the pure time of pure silence. And I understand that too. And I feel that too. So what I'm going to do this time is to introduce things and to open you to and encourage you to experience this great peace and stillness, bliss, that is always here present for you. This great love, this profound unconditional love that is always here for you all the time, if you just open to it. So I'm encouraging you to open to it. So for a period of time, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, next time I'll have a timer so I'll be able to know. But this time we're just going to open this time without having any talking. Even though I'm feeling something of people struggling with it or something, I'm not going to say anything at that time. Right? We can work on that later, because doing this to a group is a little more challenging when I'm doing it with a group, because if I'm doing it individually, then if people need silence, silence. If people need me to say something, I say something, because it's that individual person. But here I have many people in many different levels of how open they are and what they're experiencing and how free they are of fear and how free they are of thoughts. There's many, many different levels, and I understand that, and I want to reach all of you. But I encourage you, if you are struggling with this, if you don't have a strong meditation practice yet, I encourage you to have one, to begin one. And you can find videos on my YouTube channel that will introduce you to meditation on a very simple way. Some of them are advanced, but they're actually also very simple, as you'll see. I encourage you to open to this silence. You know, if you're not comfortable closing your eyes, you don't have to, but it's much better if you do. You want to be able to close off your sense organs, you know, your eyes, and to limit the distractions from this deep silence, because it's very subtle. It's been with you all the time and you haven't been paying attention to it yet. So I encourage you now to open to it so that you can feel what's always here. You can feel this. It's always, always here. Always here. Always unchanging. Always with you. And I encourage you just to give it a try and see. If thoughts come up, let them come up. But don't put your attention on them. Let them come up and let them go. That's what they do. If you don't attach to them, they go. And focus on something deeper. It's here for you. And through the energy of this transmission, it should help you feel it if you open to it. Thank you, my friend. So we'll begin with the silence now. Let's see what time it is. Okay, let's do just 10 minutes now. We'll do longer on other ones. And sometimes we'll do some where there's just silence, which I had done before, and I'll start doing those again on some other days. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Thank you, all awakened beings, whether in form or formless, for being with us and granting us this energy, this transmission. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I did feel that some of you were very open to this, and energy was just flowing in you, and that is beautiful. And I'm happy to open this space of time without any interruptions for that for you. And some of you were struggling, and there was some fear in you. I'm opening, this is a wonderful way to start meditating. If you haven't meditated before, this is a beautiful way to really start, because it's a place of such great peace, such great unbounded, unconditional love. So it's a safe place to be here. And what you bring to that, the thoughts and conditioning that you have, is natural that you're going to bring that into it. But the space itself is a sacred space, is a very open, holy, sacred space for you to bring that in. And the more you open to this stillness and silence, without resisting it, without resisting your thoughts, even if they're thoughts of fear, let them come. And you'll see that they dissolve in this space. They dissolve in this light. So bring everything to this space and let it dissolve. Don't worry about it. Don't resist anything. Uncomfortableness, bring it. Let it dissolve in this light. Bring everything and let it dissolve in this light and love. And you can look on my YouTube channel, The Enlightened Way. You'll see that there's other videos. Some of them are just this pure silence. Some of them are guided meditation, like the Radiant Light Healing Meditation and other things. The communication with God, the openness to God one, and things like that, parts of that are in pure silence. So you can just feel that. You can just experience that. Oh, look, I have a halo around my head. Isn't that appropriate? So, yeah. But I encourage you to do this, even if it feels a little uncomfortable for you, to not hear my voice, not use your mind to think of things, not be in a state of mind, in a state of thinking, in a state of that, but to just be in this pure silence. I encourage you to do this, even if it's challenging for you at first. When people start meditating, it's always challenging. But it's a practice. You keep doing it and you'll get the benefits from it. So I encourage you to come here, and you can look at this video over and over again, or any of the videos that are just silence, as many times as you want. It's free. Just take the time to do it and be in this space. Use this video as a space, then close your eyes and allow this energy. I call the energy of God, the presence of God. Allow that to infuse you. Allow that to heal you. Allow that to dissolve all your difficulties and challenges and all your thoughts and fears. Allow it to dissolve this, because it will. It does. So I encourage you to do this, and I will do more of these, and some a couple of times, or at least once a week. I will also do ones that are just silence, where I don't really say anything. I have a short introduction and then just leave it at that. You know, so there's no ending. No. So you could, if you want the longer ones, you can just loop them together. You know, there won't be any words in between to distract you. So I'm very happy that some of you are open to this, and I have seen this for years, that people are open to it and want more of the silence, more of this, and I'm happy to oblige. I'm happy to do that. The reason that I stopped doing it was because I do 2 transmissions in another group a week, and I was putting them together so that I had a place where I could put the phone as well as doing the Zoom thing. and that broke. So I stopped doing the Facebook one and just did the other transmission. But I think I'll just do one special just for this, just for you, just for YouTube, just for you to be able to, to be in this space. To be in this space, that this is a vehicle, that I'm open as a vehicle to create a space for you so that you can be open and as a vehicle too, just as I am. And you can. You can. And some of you already are. And some of you that haven't felt it yet will. Stay with it. Don't give up on it. Don't think that you're failing because you're not experiencing it yet. It's here for you. You keep opening up to it, and at some point, resistance will dissolve and you'll be open to it, and you will feel this bathing in light as people feel just absolutely filled with light, the grace of God. It's wonderful. And I want to very much offer this blessing to you, this direct experience, because it is a profound teaching, and it's teaching more than my words ever could, more than the Buddha's words, more than the words of Christ, more than the words of Ramana, more than the words of Mooji, more than the words of anyone. That this silence has more wisdom than that. And all awake teachers know this. Ramana Maharshi himself said that the only true teaching is in the silence. That using words is a very superficial thing, but he felt that people who couldn't feel, who couldn't get the direct transmission, who weren't open to it, that he would need to use the words to encourage them to open. So that's what I'm doing with words as well. But it's very, very important to have this silence, because that is the true teaching. It's not my teaching. It's not limited to any person. It's the teaching of the totality, the teaching of God. And it comes to you as a direct experience, as a feeling, more than a feeling. It's not describable. You have to experience it, and you will. Thank you, my friend. Many blessings to you and much love to you. And I'm so excited to give this to you and to share this with you so that you can open and have this direct experience too. I've tried so hard to do it with words, and as well and as limited success that I've had, it has been limited success, right? I mean, is the same with everybody. It's always going to be a limited success compared to this silence, because that is the true teaching, and is all available within this stillness and silence. So I hope you avail yourself of this and open to this. It's for you. Thank you, my friend. Much love and many blessings to you.